Hey VC, this is Luke with Hot Wax and Cool Vinyl. Welcome back. Unless this is the first time you're viewing my channel, then simply welcome. All right, today, Monday, the 13th of December 2021. That is when this video is being shot. I do not know when you will be watching it, but this is when it's being shot. It's been a couple of weeks since I did a video. I had some work schedule changes, so it's still a work in progress work-wise as far as my schedule is concerned. So I'm kind of trying to figure out I'm a creature of habit, so I have to come up with a structure so I can do these videos weekly. And make sure it becomes a habit, otherwise I will forget and I simply won't do them, and then that becomes a habit and then months go by before I do a video. So with that rather lengthy explanation out of the way, let's move on to some record finds. I'm still going through some records that I bought this summer, several different purchase options that I've had. So I have a lot to show. This is a mixed bag. There's some funk and there's some jazz and a couple of other odds and ends in this particular case. We're going to start with Sonny Stitt, sax player. This is on Prestige. It's a promo copy, issued in '73. The title is So Doggone Good. Excellent record. Both in presentation, as you can see, also in content. It's a really strong record. Really didn't know anything about this particular artist until I bought this record, part of a collection that I had purchased. So I kind of put him on, and again, I'm new to jazz. Basically started listening to it and really buying it about three and a half years ago or so. So still a rookie to the jazz options and a lot of the jazz artists. So when I buy jazz collections, I kind of get excited because it's like an Easter egg. I really don't know what I'm getting, and when I put them on, and more often than not, I'm very pleased with it. Sometimes I'm like, head scratching and like, well, that's nothing I would ever enjoy. But in this case, I did put it on. I did enjoy it. This is certainly staying in my collection. And as I progress forward in the jazz artists that I'm looking to buy, Sonny Stitt is certainly going to be one of them. On to a classic funk, disco era funk, Earth, Wind & Fire's Gratitude. This is, of course, the 2-record set. It is actually in pretty good condition. This was a purchase from earlier this summer. It is a gatefold, as you can see. Once I open it, you'll be able to see. The simplicity of the album cover itself is very attractive to me. The music is strong, as you can expect. Wasn't a big Earth, Wind & Fire fan when this album actually came out. I remember the era. I was a young man at the time. And part of it was just the time period that it came out. I was into rock. I was, and I was very disdainful of anything I deemed to be disco-ish, including this. So at the time, really wasn't paying very much attention, if anything, to them. That has since changed. I do appreciate a lot of Earth, Wind & Fire, and so I was very pleased when I was able to grab this album as part, or I should say find this album is part of a collection that I purchased. I've mentioned it several times, this was part of a back-end purchase from a buddy of mine, a fellow record collector. he and his partner had made a very, very large purchase. They've gone through most of it, taken out what they wanted, sold off the higher end pieces, and the second part of it, the 1,200 albums or so, he basically wanted to get rid of in one fell swoop, and so I was his first call, and of course I jumped on it. There was still a lot of meat left on the bone as far as selling the records and make some money on it, and there was just a lot of really, really, really solid stuff included in this that I wanted to buy and listen to. Not to mention, or not to be lost in this, was this one. This is Cross Country. Promo, again, gatefold. This was, let's see, according to the date, this was May 21st, 1973. That's when it was stamped. So, and then May 18th, 1973. You can see the stamps here on the promo section. Presumption is that is when these made it to their respective radio stations. Again, gatefold. Cool cover. I mean, you know, really nice cover. Inner sleeve on this thing is just really cool. I love. It's basically it's Atco. It's an Atco copy. But look at the just. There you go. Beautiful inner sleeve. Simplicity is great for me. White label promo as well. Atco. Songs on this, if you're like me, really don't know much about, never really knew much about Cross Country. Suggested cuts for airplay were In the Midnight Hour, Cross Country, Tastes Good to Me. Rest of the cuts were a fall song, Choir Boy, a ball song, and a smile song. Good little listen. Grab it if you see it. If you don't see it or can't really, you know, just have your Echo Dot play it. Moving on to the next one before I get too lost into the perennial weeds, as it were. Uncle Louie. This is on Marlin Records, and Uncle Louie, here's the title. Uncle Louie is the record, and again, Marlin Records, pretty cool label. Tall Ship Sailing. This was a 1979 issue, 78, 79. I really don't recall exactly which year it was, but we're in that appropriate time frame. Great looking cover. I mean, you know, cool looking cover. Just overall, great album. It's just, you know, a great listen, basically. Also, we're listening to, just before I lose track, this is Guitar Freak Out by The Ventures. I think the last video I did, I highlighted it as part of a record purchase, I think from a record show. But that's what we're listening to now. Concluding with, now, I'm scheduled to pick up 300 jazz albums at the end of this week. I made a large jazz and blues purchase. And I would have picked them up last week, but as you can tell from, I got a little sick. So I've been kind of like staying away from everybody. So I'm going to go pick them up this coming week, hopefully this coming Sunday. But part of this collection is this one record that I took when I went to look at it and we negotiated a deal. One album I did take home with me to play it and play test it because I liked it, was Stan Getz Play. Now this is, the cover is, it's okay. It's got electrical tape top and bottom. But otherwise it's nice. I mean, Stan Getz plays with Jimmy Rainey, Duke Jordan, Frank Isola, and Bill Crow. This was part of, look at this. It's Mr. Vernon Whitestein from Highwood Street in Southeast in the district. But it's a great sounding record. And it's on Norgin Records. So I played it a couple of times. I like Stan Getz. I like Stan Getz quite a bit. I think I've mentioned that several times, but this was the one that I grabbed. I said, you know what? Let me just take this one home and play it. And then, you know, I always try when I'm negotiating, when buying, and it looks like we're going to wind up buying. We're just, you know, basically just finalizing the details, the financial details. If I know it's too many records to take with me that same day, I grab one at random and bring it home, one or two, and I bring it home and I just play it. It gives me a pretty good indication, or at least an indication of what the rest of the collection is going to be like. I usually try to grab a couple, like I said, and as opposed to one or two. It's more like a handful. It gives me a good idea of what we're actually looking at. This particular person I've bought from before, so I kind of know what to expect. Most of his stuff is in the VG minus, VG plus, that range. This one's no different. Obviously the cover's not VG because of the black tape, but the record plays. A little bit of moderate noise, mostly on the quieter parts of the record, but I'm also not paying a premium because the quality of the stuff is as I said, VG, VG plus, VG minus, in and around that area. So that's it for this week. I am hoping you had a good past couple of weeks, and hopefully as we get into the heart of the holiday season, as it were, 2 weeks to go until Christmas time, and I know every one of us is still scuttling about between holiday plans for dinners and Christmas shopping and everything. But you know what? Let's all remember to take a couple of minutes and relax and just enjoy the build-up to the holiday. Sometimes the build-up is actually as enjoyable, if not more so, than the day itself. You know, the anticipation of the day, so to speak. Nonetheless, hope you had a great day. As always, if you like the video, please subscribe, leave me a comment. As you know, I enjoy the interplay. I actually enjoy it quite a bit. I try to answer every single comment. Some do slip by, but I do try very diligently to answer every single comment. And I also try to subscribe to your channels when you subscribe to mine. I find that to be important. We do have to kind of support each other, as it were, when we produce content. It may not be high production quality. It may not be anything professional. But if you're going to take the time to make some content, I'm going to take the time to watch it and subscribe. So have a great day. Have a great week. Cheers. I'll speak to you soon.